Here we go!
And the wait is over. Good evening, everybody. This is Tim from Do It 3D. Welcome to my Sunday night live stream here on Sunday, December 12th. I think I got that right. I want to say hello to everybody in chat first. I see there were a few real early birds. My goodness, you guys got nothing else to do on Sunday night. Brendan Wilson, sorry. Kieran Clark is here. Jerry, you're always here. Thank you again for sharing the stream and for the shout outs as always. The Apprentice, you are here. I saw you this afternoon on Richard's show. Jeff Hutchins, Liam is here. Astro Printer. And we have Stephen Poole, hello, and Dominic Versetto, Pierre, James Geeter, sorry, I probably pronounced that wrong. Dean Hines is here. Steve L is here, and Shadell 3D. There's a lot of people popping in. Looks like there's 21 on here so far. So before I get started, I want to talk about a couple serious things. Oh, and Mika Steve, hello, how you doing? It's Monday. It's your Monday morning, Kieran. Okay. SpaceX Booster 4 move was underway. I haven't been watching a lot of that. I catch that the odd time when I can. But anyways, I want to talk about something serious, and it's to do with the future of the channel, what we're going to do going forward. Last week was kind of an eye-opener for me for when I did the Kingroon and the Ender 2 Pro, etc. I had a comment that kind of hit home with me. I don't comment. There's always haters will hate, lovers will love. It's always good, and I know that I have really great followers and subscribers to this channel. One comment kind of hit home to me. They had watched the stream I did on, and I'm not going to mention the name because I'd never heard of the person before, so they're likely not a subscriber. So they'd watched the stream when I did about the Kingroon versus the Ender 2 Pro, which one, blah blah blah, and that was a stream where I had put the new hot end on. Couldn't get it to feed, etc., etc. Really, the comment basically was the stream was useless. That's not far off. Other than there was a few things learned as we went along the way. It ended up being, which really surprised me, the E-steps on this thing. And thank you to Liam. He helped me out on Jerry's stream to get this thing going. The E-steps were way out. It was Jerry's stream or no, it was his stream, I think. Anyways, it was. I get on these guys' streams and I get that confused. But yeah, so the E-steps were way out, which really surprised me because the previous hot end that was on here was printing fine. This one, the E-steps were like totally out to lunch. I mean, it was only extruding like 20 millimeters of filament with the E-steps that were currently in the firmware. So anyways, that aside, the comment that was made was kind of correct. It was sort of a useless stream in that sense that the comparison didn't get done between the Kingroon and the Ender 2 Pro, other than they're both small Cartesian style printers, cantilever style printers, sorry, and the differences that they have in them. But so it kind of got me thinking. My stream, as everybody that's on here knows, is that yeah, I'm the first to admit I don't know everything, and I admit that I don't know everything, and that's been the premise of my channel the whole way along, is that I kind of learn from you guys and from myself as I go by making mistakes live. I could easily just do videos that I edit and cut and everything, and you don't see any of the stuff of me burning myself, of me not knowing how to put something on, of me putting something on backwards, etc., etc. But that's real life, and that's why I do what I do, and why I decided to make the channel and go live with these things. Because live, you're very vulnerable when you're live, because you can't take back what you've done on a live stream. I mean, I can't say, oh, hold on, I got to cut this last part out. I can't do that. You guys have seen it. It's live, and it's posted on my channel for everybody to see going forward. So, but that's been the premise of my stream. And if people have watched my intro video, which isn't up right now, but it'll be back up after the giveaway, I talk about the fact that I don't know everything, and that I am learning from you folks, and I'm learning from myself from research as I go. And I know that a lot of people that watch my streams like that fact that I make mistakes live, but then I generally will fix those mistakes. And that's why I wanted to come on and talk about this printer again tonight, The folks at Kingroon did reach out to me, actually, emailed me. They told me they watched my stream on it. They apologized for the hot end being showing up damaged and said if there's anything they can do, let them know. That was huge in my books. That was huge in my books because that means that, hey, they're paying attention to their users. So I told them, I said, no, I said, we solved the issues. The hot end was fixed. There was a few things in the hot end. The one other major thing I found wrong, besides the E-steps, which we did solve, was that there was a little pin or something missing from the this is a single gear extrusion system in this Titan extruder, and there's a single pin missing basically on this push wheel here. And it's a little bearing that where the filament rolls between the bearing and the gear. Well, there was a little pin missing that was holding that bearing in place, or that little wheel in place. So that was playing a little bit of an issue with the filament feeding as well. But it is feeding fine. As a matter of fact, when I got that all fixed up, I printed this. I'll see if I can get this close to the camera. This is a 50% articulated dragon. And I mean, that is tiny. You can see how big his head is compared to my fingers. Okay. And he is tiny, but he works. Okay. So to me, that means the printer did a pretty good job considering. The only part that doesn't bend is down here by the tail when it got so small that obviously those little pins inside are fused together, and I don't want to mess with that. But for the most part, man, that printed beautifully. I mean, so that tells me that, yeah, this little printer is capable of doing some pretty decent stuff. So that worked out really well. Anyways, I had planned to do the stream and a follow-up on this little guy anyways, because it deserves more than I gave it last week. So that one comment basically saying that my stream was useless wasn't wrong, yet wasn't right, because there was some stuff to be learned from it. But it also said to me, hey, you know what? And the fact that these guys, Kingroon, reached out to me, said, yeah, this little printer deserves a little better shout out than I gave it on my live stream. So late on Maria as she sleeps, she's seen it. She loves it. This is the baby, and I'm sure most of you have seen it, but this is the grandpa that was run on the rat rig. Big guy, 250%. Oh, I see. Look, Steve, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I got a new button for these. You ready?
Super chat.
Thank you so much for that $20 super chat, Steve. I appreciate it. Just ignore it. Your streams are great. Thank you. And I know I get the odd comment. I let them run off my shoulders, but this one kind of hit home a little bit because they were right in a way. So, but if you look at the difference, 250% dragon, 50% dragon. So that was awesome. So anyways, this little guy is so cute, but the fact that the printer ran this and it works, I fully expected these things not to fuse and this to fall apart, but that's pretty incredible. I couldn't print this on the Kingroon though. No. Get back up there. Oh, there we go. Just about killed her with a cutting board. So anyways, enough of that. So that's why I'm talking about this a little bit again tonight. I'm going to run a print on this. I'm going to run a print on the Ender 2 Pro that I just found a little print that's a little over an hour long to print. We're going to get those going. We'll show this guy printing. Meantime, I did a couple little upgrades on this. Did some searching on Thingiverse because I didn't like the spool holder it had. So I did print a spool holder that basically you pop the top off this 2040 extrusion here. And then this spool holder just pops down into there. It's just fixed. It works fine. I ran this on the rat rig actually because this guy, it would have taken a little too long on this. And I just ran this an hour or so prior to the stream, and it was a quick print on the rat rig. So great little spool holder for this because it holds the spool right up top. It'll hold the little wider spools, which is great. And then the other thing that I printed on this is, if I show you on my close-up cam, right on the side, and this is a lot of these printers are guilty of this little cover I printed. So, and the reason I did this, and this just covers the power supply, the USB, and the micro SD slot, is because, let me take this micro SD out. How many times, I'm guilty of doing it several times, how How many times you got to put a micro USB in and it slipped underneath and into the cover and you had to take the bottom off to get it off? I've done that many times on my Enders and my CR, on my CR printers. Now, I can blindly reach around with this and I can just, whoops, let me use the other hand here. I can blindly reach around, feel my way here, push that SD card in, no problem. Just this, again, a little thing I found on Thingiverse. I didn't reinvent the wheel. I just found that somebody had already done, and I printed that little cover for it. It just sits in there with pressure, and it's perfect. So, and then the other thing I'm doing right now is, the other thing I don't really like is the fact it's got a separate PSU, which is fine, but I'm currently printing on the rat rig again. Oops, on this camera here. Oh, wrong one. Where's my camera? There it is. That's just a PSU power supply stand. I'm printing for this thing on the rat rig. That's going to be done in a few hours. So I just wanted, and so just a few little upgrades to make this thing a little bit, a little more user friendly. My biggest pain in the side though was the spool holder, because as you know, it had those two little feet where you had to rest the spool on, and if you bumped it, you're hooped. But this is a much better solution having it just up here. It's not going to affect the print quality at all. It shouldn't. So anyways, let me go back and have a peek in the chat. Oh.
Super Chat.
Thank you so much, Steve, for the $5 Super Chat. You got to hear the Super Chat button again. It's the best. Well, if you want to hear that button again, that's the way to hear it. I made that button up and thought, what the heck? You're waiting for the echo of Jason M's, and now do you want to know the easy way? That's I think, Kieran, I got to make a T-shirt up that says, and now do you want to know the easy way? And then sign Jason M. I got to do that. I know a guy that can do that. Wow. This is great. Let's see if I missed any comments while I was doing my little as seen on TV. How many times has this happened to you? Yes, I think we all have had that little micro SD card fall in the case. And if you haven't, you're lucky. I appreciate all the positive comments, guys. I really do. And as I say, I don't let naysayers usually get to me, but sometimes sometimes things do sort of hit home, and I want to do something about it. You need to do a super chat, something like that. It was pretty easy to do, Jerry. I can talk to you about it after, and I would just need you to get you to record an MP3 for me of something like that, and then I put it in a software I found that does the echo and the whole thing. So pretty cool. Okay. Not lucky. Just never use an SD card. Been Octoprint from day one. There we go. That works. Dang naysayers. I know, Brian, right? So I haven't had many negative comments over the last year or so I've been streaming. But this one kind of, they were right in a way, you know. I didn't do this little guy justice at all. I didn't make it look good. So just while I'm talking about that, we're going to heat this up. I don't want to print this. I don't know why you think I want to print a model. Anyways, we're going to heat this up. We're going to get some filament loaded in it. And we're going to start a print on this one on the Ender and on the Ender 2 Pro. 220, we'll heat this up to 60-degree bed. There we go. And then let's get this guy heated up as well. I'm so used to using the clipper screen now that I have to figure my way through. I have to figure my way through these menus now. It's so funny. I haven't used these in such a long time. And then we'll get the bed up to 60 on this guy too. Oh, not 80. I don't like these little knobby things when I'm used to touch screens now either. There we go. Okay, we'll let these little guys warm up and then we'll start some prints on them and see how we go from there. So no problem, Jerry. I'm glad to help out anytime. You are a great help to my channel as well. So what is the rat rig printing, Steve? The rat rig is right now is just printing it's going to be a power supply unit holder for the Kingroon. So basically what's going to happen is it's going to allow this holder to stand up basically like this beside the printer. Instead of laying down and taking up more room, it's going to just allow that to stand up. So That's what she's printing right now. And it also, earlier, it printed this spool holder about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, because I could have done it on this, but I wanted it to be done for the stream, so I printed that really quick on the rat rig, because I just decided today to do that. So it should look good on its own. All you have to do is showcase the greatness. Oh yeah, that's true. You're looking for a board that you're looking for a board for that printer's first gen. Is it decent? Just a board needs. Oh, for this printer here, for the Kingroon? Okay. I need a slap button sound effect when you knock yourself for no reason. I could do that. I should do a bunch of sound effects buttons. So, special place and hub reserved for trollers. Yeah, some trollers are trollers, but that's okay. I've been lucky so far. I've had really, really good comments. 99.9% of the comments have been excellent so far. So, if I want to upgrade the duct shroud on that, you've designed one that uses a 5150 blower. I'm not sure where they could share that. Where I could share that with you. You could email me. You could email me an STL. My email is dwit3dcanada@gmail.com. It's also in my about me on my YouTube channel. Anyone know of a replacement board for the KP3? I'm not sure. It's a proprietary board, so I don't know enough to know which board would be a good replacement for it. I'm sure you could put any of the boards, but it's a small board and a small footprint. So I've actually been looking at printing similar to what I did for the Prusa Mini. On Thingiverse, there's a couple of people that have made bases for this that would raise it up, I don't know, yay high. And then you also put the power supply under the base, etc., with the plugs and the power coming on the side. I may look at that one day, but because it is a good little printer. Let me get these prints started. Let me start this one first. I'm printing something quick. It's just a micro SD card holder. There we go, and we'll confirm that print to start. And let me get it started on the Ender 2 Pro as well here. I'm doing this looking at a weird angle. Print from SD card. Let's refresh. There we go. USB stand, high resolution. And print. So this one's nice and warm. So, you know what? See what happens? See, it's human. Live streams. What did I tell you about live streams? I didn't put filament in it yet. Did anybody catch that? Oh, see, I told you live streams. You gotta have filament in order to print a job. Oh, I see something else.
Super Chat.
Thank you so much, Apprentice, for that $5 super chat. You just wanted to hear that super chat button again, didn't you? Well, you may hear it a lot next week. Don't forget, guys, next week is the massive 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'll talk about that in just a minute. I'm going to load filament on this printer here. So, see, there we go. Live, feeling embarrassed a little bit because I started a print without filament. Hey, but you know what? It happens. I'm a dive instructor too. I went diving one time and I forgot my fins, believe it or not. But I kept up with the group. That's a whole other story. That was before I was an instructor though, but still. Anyways. Oh, there's a little thing. This stand needs to be a little bit taller. Oh, look at that. Okay, well, obviously I'm going to have to fix that. This hot end just came right up to the top. And yeah, that's a little interfering with the spool. So I'm going to have to remix this spool holder and just make it a little taller. Not a problem, though. Let's just get Z down out of the way here. So there we go. There we go. Okay. So that is a little flaw there. I never even looked at that, but I'll just have to make it a little bit taller. Not a big deal. And now Jason M turns up. Hey, Jason. We were talking about you earlier. You're going to have to scroll back through the chat to see what we were saying. You've given me a t-shirt idea. Well, somebody gave me a t-shirt idea to do with you. Anyways, let me load some filament in this. Let me move my X over. Here we go. And let me heat this up again. There we go. And of course, I let the end of this go. It's like finding the end of a piece of Scotch tape. Ah. Come on. How difficult can that be? Oh, there it is. There it is. I see it. There you are. Hopefully you're not tangled. And I'm heated up. I'm just going to feed some filament here. Oh, no wonder. Chat away. I need to... only happens on live streams. Yes, that's true. Only on live streams. There we go. I didn't cut my end, and I had a little ball on the tip of this. Wouldn't quite go through. Here we go. My little Ender 2 is printing already, though, which is fine. I think first layer's going down good on that one. I haven't leveled that one in a while, but it should still be fine. Hasn't really moved from the tabletop, so let's get this one printing now. And this one, and confirm. Here we go. Get that going. Little warm nozzle. So for those of you that just joined or haven't seen, this little guy here was printed on the Kingroon, or actually close-up camera. Boop, boop. This little guy right here. You can see how tiny he is by the size of my fingers. This was 50%, and the print quality, it's purple. This is actually Prusament purple, but it's looking blue on the camera. Doesn't matter. You can still see the quality of the print on this little Kingroon. And it articulates. The only place it doesn't articulate is the tail, because I'm pretty sure that those little joints are fused together because they're so tiny. Yeah. Yeah. He's cute. He's cute. Tim playing with his tiny dragon again. I know, Liam. Can't resist. At least I don't pull my big dragon out to play with. My big guy behind me right here. The big one, I like that. I got to print another one of those. Okay, here we go. Kingroon is printing. Extruding filament. Let me get this close-up camera on it so you guys can see that it is, in fact, printing actually decent this time. I've something in the firmware that is supposed to be centered on the bed. That's not an issue. I just made up a profile for this quickly in Super Slicer. So, and I did put in the proper bed size, 180 by 180, but for some reason I'm not centering on the bed, but I'll figure that out. That's not the printer's fault. That's just a firmware issue, or a slicing issue. So, CNC Kitchen showed how to install the small board that used rep wrap in a similar style size printer. Oh, okay, I'll have to watch that and see. I will have to watch that and see. So we have, so here we go. It's printing, and it's going to do a really good job on this print, I know. So I was looking at the, I did have a couple questions about, you know, which would I recommend as far as the Kingroon KP3S or the Ender 2 Pro. So they're both decent printers. They're both decent little printers. Kingroon, what it's got going for it is it's a direct drive Titan hot end that comes with it now. This guy right here. This I put it on because I had the older style. But it comes with this now standard. It comes with your X and Y linear rails. Okay, so the bed is moving on a linear rail right there. on a single linear rail for the Y, and then we have the linear rail there, of course, for the X. It's got a single lead screw, the same as the Ender 2 Pro. Again, direct drive. Ender 2 Pro's got the side spool mount. This one just comes with your basic cheap little, which I don't like. It just comes with these two little stands that you kind of separate to put your spool on and balance. But as I say, I printed that spool holder for it. So there's a lot of little things out there that you can do to modify it. And the only other thing that I'm not a fan of on this one, but there's a modification out there for it, is the way that touchscreen is right there. And I have big hands, and I tend to rub this knob or when I go to get this touchscreen. But I found a mod out there for that, which basically allows this touchscreen to come at an angle and off to the side a little bit. So I'm going to look at printing that mod for this as well, because that's really one of the weaknesses of this printer, I think, is that position of that touchscreen. Now, Kingroon has put out a little larger printer. I think it's a 5 or something, and they've actually got the touchscreen off to the side, and it's not nearly as now, Liam, that comment just got for it's set here for modification. I don't know if I want to show it, but I can because it's funny. There we go. Only Liam would come up with something like that. So Dominic says he's printing a sword handle upright. The part cooling fans caused a low-pitched drone whistle. It's maddening. Oh, no kidding. That would be. Anyways, so you're looking at a direct drive versus a Bowden system in the Ender 2 Pro, but for a printer this size, Bowden's fine. I guess you could probably print flexibles a little easier on the direct drive on the Kingroon if you want to print flexibles on it. I don't see why it wouldn't work. But you can also print flexibles on a Bowden system. So it's just a matter of how flexible and how well tuned the machine is, etc. On the, let's see if I can see this on this other camera. Yeah, you can probably maybe not see it quite. But on the Ender 2 Pro, I did 2 upgrades to it. First thing I did was I switched out their plastic feeder. There's a whole debate, feeder, extruder. I call it a feeder because the whole hot end assembly is the extruder. It extrudes plastic. So anyways, it had the plastic feeder on it, which we all know that if we've been around enough, tends to crack in the handle because it's plastic, and it was single gear. So I switched it out because I have a bunch of these in my studio here. I switched it out to an red aluminum dual gear feeder system here. And when you do that, you've got to make sure, of course, you recalibrate your E-steps because you're going to be pushing plastic likely a little harder through that particular feeder. So, and then let me switch back here. There we go. Oops, wrong one. You guys want to see? You don't need to see me. You can see the model. So that's the. Oh, and then also on the Ender 2 Pro, I put a Capricorn tubing on instead of the. While I was doing that, I put Capricorn tubing instead of the white clear stuff that they had on there. So that was it. So that's the only 2 changes I made to the Ender 2 Pro. Other than that, it's all factory. I haven't even upgraded the firmware on this thing yet, to be honest with you. So on the Kingroon KP3S, I did do a firmware upgrade that was available. I did that last weekend, Monday, Tuesday, man, the days are just flowing so fast. So I did that. And as you all saw last week, I upgraded the hot end because this new hot end came in, this Titan extruder, and the spool holder and that little cover on the side that we talked about. And those are the only updates I've done on the Kingroon. So other than that, they're both factory. This is a beautiful, soft, smooth first layer that this is laying down right here. So, man, can I get that closer and show you? It is just, now that this thing is basically tuned and the E-steps are calibrated properly. Yeah, that was surprising because the E-steps, for those of you who have ever done E-step calibration, and correct me if I'm wrong, Liam, I think the E-steps we ended up with were like 700 and something. It was really a high number, and I was shocked, but it is what it took. So look how clean that first layer is. So good you can read the bed plate through it. So hello, Elizabeth and Angela, welcome. Yeah, so no, that's laying down really nice. depending on the angle you look, you can almost see right through it. But yeah, that is a really good first layer happening there. So we'll see what goes on here. And these are just little prints of, and I'll use them. I'm not just printing something for the sake of throwing it out. These are just little SD and micro SD card holders that I can print because right now I'm using just a little crappy little thing. Well, it's not crappy. This is a clock spring print, but it doesn't hold. It doesn't have a holder. This is a little thing I did off clock spring a while ago, and it only has a holder for the SD cards, not the micro SD cards. So, there it is. Oh, too close. So I need something to hold my micro SD cards because right now they're just sort of all over my desk in different places. So, good morning, Angus Young from the UK. Welcome. Oh, there goes that sound. I turned you off. I have a notebook here. I won. It's a Samsung notebook. I won this in a contest with my other company, or just in a giveaway with my other company, and it's annoying me. I powered it off, and then so if I hold that button and say, "Now won't you power off?" Anyways, I powered it off, and I get down here, and all of a sudden I hear boop 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 boop, and it's like, "What are you doing?" I wanted to use this to run to do. I can't figure out how to get my radOS.local on here. I cannot find local internal addresses. I have Googled. I have done everything to try and find out why I can't reach internal sites or whatever IPs on this. And apparently, it's a thing with Samsung. So it's Anyways, it's sitting there. I'm not worrying about it for now. That's the least of my. It's the least of things on my mind because right now I just have the radOS working on right here. It's just on one of my other screens with a window open, and yeah, that's the holder I'm printing right there for the power supply unit for the Kingroon. That's what it's going to end up looking like. So the holder sits vertical, and then also the let's see if I can pull this up over here. I don't know if I can. Let me try. If I drag this window over to here, there we go, and make it big. So yeah, that is the holder right there, and you see it's got the little notch there for the power wire that's going to come out. And then on the side, it's got a couple screw holes on that side too there, and one on that side, which will screw into the base of that power supply unit, and it just stands up vertically. And they've added some screw holes to the four corners if you want to screw it down to a bench or a desk or something and make sort of a permanent fixture, which I won't. That'll just be something I'll just move around. But I like that better than lying the spool holder down and stuff. So yeah, that's what's going on that one. So that is what's printing on that printer right there right now in the rat rig. So yeah, there we go. Ender killer. What's an ender killer? What did I miss? The Kingroon is an ender killer. Now it's picking up a bit of speed. We're done the first layer, so we're going to get some speed going here. And we'll just let the Ender 2 Pro go. They're printing the exact same model. And the Ender 2 Pro, it's if I show you over there, whoop, it's printing the same thing, and it's off center on the build plate too. So I've obviously done something wrong in the slicer. That for some reason it's printing these things off center. So I have to look into that and see what's going on. I have my bed sizes set right, but yeah. But we'll focus on the Kingroon right now. Because as I say, I gave this thing, I shortchanged this thing last week with the upgrade and the filament and stuff. So it's good. It's all good. I want everybody to know that this thing can print a decent job. So we'll let these run a little bit. Let's talk about next Sunday. So exciting. For those of you that don't know, if you go to my page, let me pull my page up here. And if you go to my page, on my page here, you'll see a video, whoops, right there that says 1000 celebration. If you click on that video, okay, right below in the description, right there is a link to the entry form for next week. You can go out and fill that entry form out now if you like, okay? There's already well over 50 entries on that. So if you haven't done so, You must be subscribed to the channel. Okay. That's the three. You got to be subscribed to the channel, and you got to fill out the entry form, and you have to be present to win. Now, I've done a lot of thinking because the stream is going to be next Sunday at 4 o'clock. Next Sunday is your birthday blaster. Well, you come on out. If it's your birthday, you'll likely win something. You never know. We're going to be doing the Wheel of Names, typical spin format to keep it fair, and it'll all be visible. Now, I've been thinking a lot about my European friends because right now, if I think back, I think I've got 30, close to 30, if not 30, prizes to give away, totaling well over 2,500 US dollars. We've had some great response from companies and people. People in this community have stepped up to donate prizes as well. We'll go through all that next week. And I'm so humbled by the response I've gotten. Right up till last Friday, I had another company come on board. So right now on the video that I just showed you, it has a list of all the different companies that are helping out. So you may get an idea of what's being given away on some of those. I was talking about my European friends because the stream starts at 4. It's going to be probably a 4-hour stream. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that because there's a lot to give away. But I'm doing my best to streamline the whole process by opening the form up now, so the entry form is there. People are entering early that way because we're going to have to obviously have a cutoff time before the draws start. Now, I know that at 4 o'clock my time over in Europe and Australia and some of those countries, it's going to be like middle of the night. And it's not necessarily fair for those people to stay up to 3, 4, 5 in the morning, especially if they have to work the next day. So I'm working out something because the rule is you have to be present on the stream. Now, that could be difficult for some of those guys that have to work the next morning. And if they're in a time zone that's just way out to lunch and it's 4 in the morning, just Canada, just USA, worldwide. Well, I have prizes for just USA. I have prizes for just Canada, and there are prizes for worldwide. So, but the worldwide ones, anyways, I got to think about that because it is really, I've been on streams before where they're doing draws and you have to be present. I've had to get up for work the next day, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. It's like, I just can't. So I go to sleep. So you should have I should have a co-host to help with me. I do have somebody coming on stream with me. And also, I'm going to talk to him this week, but Richard Cleveland from the First Layer, he may even be here in studio with me next Sunday. We kind of chatted about that during his live stream today in the chat, and he said he would be more than happy. He would love to be here with me. So we may have special guest Richard Cleveland from the First Layer with me in studio next week. So, Jerry, I agree. You snooze, you lose. I've got to look at this and I got to think about it a little bit. The other option is to do some of the Europe only prizes earlier in the draw. So I've got to figure out a few logistics first. So that's going to happen. We have lots of sponsors. We have 3D printers going. You guys know that much by seeing what's been there. We have filament, we have printers, we have hot ends, we have nozzles, we have parts, we have tools, we have basically a lot of things encompassing the 3D print world to give away next week. So enter, be here, share it, okay? Because the idea behind this is that we want more and more people to come and see what this channel is all about. And I like more and more option of people to have the opportunity to win prizes. Matt German, you're not allowed. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I don't know if Matt has even entered yet, so we'll see. I live in Richard's basement. No, my studio is his studio is a lot neater than mine, and he has much cooler equipment than I do for doing streams. So I'll tell you now, and I'm going to mention it again next Sunday for the handful of you guys that are here. So the entry form is open right now. The entry form will be open next Sunday. We're also going to do, just so you get a bit of a heads up for my regulars here, and I'm going to be mentioning this again on the giveaway stream next week. I'm going to be putting another form up on that stream, and it's going to be a prize claim form. Very similar, Google form. You go in, you click a link, except this time you're going to go in and you're going to claim your prize, and you will have 7 days to claim your prize, and then done. So there's no reason, 7 days you should be able to claim your prize. So if I draw your name and boom, 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 Matt German wins a printer. Sorry, I had to say that. You've got to go on to the link that'll be provided on that stream, and it'll stay there after the stream is done too. Click that link. It'll take you to a forum. You're going to put down what you won. Don't lie about what you won, because we will be double checking. Trust me. What you won, if I have to mail it to you, if it's getting sent to you from a company, etc., you need your address, your phone number, and your email. Okay. And those, I'll be collecting all those forms, and then whoever's handing the prizes out, whether it be myself, because I will be sending some stuff out, whether it be a company, it'll all go to the appropriate people that are involved in this, and you'll get your prize. But you have to fill out the prize claim form within 7 days. Okay, so there's no ands, ifs, or buts about that. That saves, number one, that saves me trying to reach out to everybody saying, okay, you won, you won, you won, you won, and then you got to respond, and then I've got to ask for an address, blah, blah, blah. This form will give me everything I need. Once you fill that out, it's out of your hands, it's in my hands to get you your prize. So CGW World Mini Industry, I can't read that. Anyways, I won. What did you win? Unclaimed prizes go to me, Jason says. Yes. So I can't give away who my on-screen co-host will be yet. You guys may all guess who it is, but anyways, I do have an on-screen host picked out because this person has been extremely helpful to me this year. And, you know, hopefully, fingers crossed, I will have Richard Cleveland in studio next week. So we're going to be talking to him about that through this week and see if he can actually make it. So that would be excellent. So that's sort of a heads up on what's happening next Sunday on the 19th, 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. And across the world, I'm sorry, I don't know all the time zones or what time it is. All the way I know it's late in Europe. So maybe 11 o'clock p.m. in Europe and some of those other countries. So that's that. Moving forward on the channel, tonight will probably be my last official live stream, other than next week's giveaway stream, for the year 2021, because, of course, after the live stream, the next weekend is Christmas weekend, and then the weekend after that is New Year's weekend. So likely this will be my last. Through the holiday season, I've been redoing some intro videos, as you saw my new intro video tonight. You all saw my super chat video that I've done, my little super chat thing. If you haven't seen it, there's only one way for me to play that super chat thing, which is really cool. I will have a new intro video going into the new year. I've got a new exit video going into the new year, and I'm rethinking the way I'm presenting my live streams. Whoever the person is, just know I haven't received a single paycheck from Tim. There we go. 142 in the UK right now, Angus. Wow. So yeah, that's 7 hours ahead. So you're 7 hours ahead of me. So the giveaway stream will be starting at 11 o'clock p.m. Yeah, it is a great way to finish the year, Kieran. I agree. And I'm glad that I decided to wait till the 19th of December, and it'll be the last live stream of the year. And then, so I'm rethinking my live streams because I got stuff coming up next year. Like I got some Ender 3 V2 upgrades to do. I've got a CR30 to do, the belt printer. I've got a laser to do sitting right behind me on the floor. I got to do a laser unboxing, and I'm hopefully going to do a collaboration with another phenomenal laser guy in our community. I'm not going to say anything yet because I've got to talk to him. Jerry knows who I'm talking about. So I'm hoping maybe I can do a collaboration stream with him. So we will see what we do on a Sunday night. Spend it with your family over the holidays. So I'm also thinking of the way I approach these streams. I know it's fun and I know it's entertaining to watch me make mistakes on live streams, but I think for some of the things I've got to do, I may need to not rehearse, but I need to put a little more thought into how the process is going to go so I don't do injustice to a machine like this, like I did last week. And I'm doing a follow-up stream tonight for it because of that. Mind you, I had nothing else scheduled for tonight, but that's beside the point. I don't want to make a machine look bad when it's actually not bad because of my inability to do something on a particular stream. But I think what I'm going to start doing next year is taking tidbits of these live streams. Like, so last week when I did the update, and then this week when I have this thing printing phenomenal, and maybe then create a separate video about that and post those as separate videos. I'm probably going to start doing that in the new year. I want to kind of change the format up a little bit, but not much. We'll still be doing our Sunday live streams. We'll still be having fun every Sunday night. And I want to make more videos. So in other words, I want to put out a video in the week, and I want to do a Sunday live stream. And that's something that I want to shoot for as a goal going into 2022, especially with the growth I've seen in the channel. Just this last week or 2 weeks, I think in my YouTube analytics in the last 30 days, I've gone up 140 subscribers, which is phenomenal. I mean, it blows me away that there's that many people out there that are actually probably more entertained than anything with my channel. So, and I appreciate everybody watching it. So that's what's going on. You're watching the last live stream as far as an equipment stream goes, printer stream, etc. for the 2021. But we have the big giveaway stream next Sunday, which is going to close off the season for Do It 3D. So, and then we're going to, reorganize, rethink, maybe replace some cameras, maybe, tidy the studio up a little bit and so forth. And then we're going to continue on into 2022. So it's been a big, massive, phenomenal year for me. Can you believe I've only been YouTubing just about a year in November? So it's been, and I'm just mind blown by the amount of attention my channel has gained, and I'm humbled by it as well. And I've made some phenomenal friends over the last year, so this is great. So speaking of phenomenal friends, I've got to figure out, anybody who knows when Murph is happening. I said phenomenal. Who knows when Murph, is it Murph or Earth? Murph, Midwest. When is that happening next year? Is that March or April or something next year? Because I really, one of my goals is to get to one of those, hopefully next year's, and meet some of you guys face to face so we can actually shake hands. And I think it'll be fine to shake hands then. So if he said certifiable, though, if he said certifiable, I could say certifiable for a few of you guys. It's amazing. True. Let's check on our print here. Where's my close-up? There we are. We're making headway on this little guy. Whoops. My chair's making funny noises. So it looks like, yeah, prints are looking good. So John Clendening said he's got a BL Touch just sitting there and you're thinking about using it for your KP3S. Yeah, I don't see why we couldn't put a BL Touch on these things. I like the BL Touches. I got one on the rat rig. I think you can see the BL Touch in the overhead in the shot here. Yeah, there's a BL Touch on the rat rig, which has worked great. I use them on the printers they come on. These little guys, like on the Kingroon here, I don't know if I'd put one on there myself. The bed is so small, it's real easy to level. The only thing that I may change up on this one as well is if you look underneath, it's got those little, right in here, it's got those silver springs. I can turn, I'm not going to now because it's printing, but I can actually move these yellow height adjustment knobs extremely easy with my finger. They're not the best springs. I may replace those with those heavier yellow springs, but at the same time, these are very short springs too. So I want to put bigger knobs on here too, but I don't think there's enough room in the back for a bigger knob back here. I have a hard time reaching this one here to do my leveling. So I may end up putting thicker springs on there, but just leaving the knobs on there or something. So yeah, Kingroons, hey, Lightspeed, the Kingroons are great farm printers. I follow a couple channels of guys that have Kingroon farms, and they work phenomenal for them. I mean, they are, as I say, this has been sitting on my shelf for about a year before I decided to upgrade this hot end, and it's a great little printer. If you've got little parts to print over and over and over on a farm and stuff, they're good. And you think about it, you're looking under $200. I don't know what, about $150 US for the for this printer. And if you want to make a farm out of them to print small parts, like you can get some pretty good sized parts on these, but that's really, really good price to make a print farm out of them. I mean, why not? I mean, you get 10 of them for the price you pay for one Prusa, in a sense, right? Like, well, okay, maybe I'm going a little exaggerating there a little bit, but you know, $1,500 for 10 of these printers. Yeah, and what's it cost? An MK3 costs what, about $1,000 or no, $750 US? So yeah. Kingroon has an auto bed leveling system on their site. Oh, do they? Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, they also have a new printer out. Let's see if I can find it. They have a new printer out as well. Kingroon.com. They have a new printer. Well, I don't know how new it is, but here, let me pull it over to this window. Oops. There we are. Yeah, so they have a new printer out. It's called the KP5M 3D printer, and it's a larger print build area and everything, and it's $399 US. So looks like they're going to compete with the Ender 3 sort of market with this, or the Anycubic, right? So yeah, and so what else do they have out there? They have their KP3S, which is the one we're doing now. So the KP3S again comes with the standard Titan extruder. Okay. Again, I'm not a fan of the power supply separate, but there's mods out there where that can be all switched up. And then this, I don't know if this is new or I just didn't know, but they also have a resin printer. I had no clue they had a resin printer. So unless this is brand new. So pretty interesting. So they have an auto bed leveling system. Let's see. KP3S accessories. So there's a Titan extruder. It's on sale right now for $39 US. Not bad for an extruder like this. Right there, they have $25 3D touch leveling sensor for $25 US. So it's obviously not a BL Touch brand, but it's their own brand. For 25 bucks, it's not bad at all. And they sell a BMG gear extruder for 19 bucks. Yeah, so they have a few good little accessories, and there's their board. $69 for a replacement board for the main board. Let's see. And that is a proprietary, I believe, proprietary board for them. But yeah, silent steppers built in. So yeah, it looks like they're moving along. They've done really well with this little printer. They got the bigger one out, and I had no clue they did resin. So Chris Mink asked that. I missed that. Sorry. Where did you ask that question? No, I haven't. It's sitting temporary. Well, you can see it. You can actually see it right in over here behind me. It's sitting on the end. I have a double length workbench here. These are those Home Depot workbenches, those Husky ones. I think they're 6 feet long or something. And I have two of them side by side, and it's sitting right there on the end of the workbench. It's actually printing a job right now. Yeah, I'm still waiting on the table. You know, I'm not. My brother's been busy, and yeah, I don't want to bug him, but I'll get it eventually. So definitely get it eventually. Oh, let's better angle on this thing. There we go. Let's see. What am I missing in chat? I'm very impressed with your KP3S. Yeah, they're good. It's a good little printer. It's just that I've got too many. It was sitting on a shelf, and I had no need to use it. I got it. It was on sale, $169 Canadian, dirt cheap, and I couldn't turn it down. I had to see what you get for that kind of money, and I was quite impressed. They're actually a fair bit more right now in Canada. So $80 for a new board for your Viper. Wow. That does sound expensive for that. Big Tree Tech and a different screen, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Use an SCARN Run Clipper. I wonder, it'd be interesting to, it'd almost be a waste, but it'd be interesting to put Clipper on the Kingroon. Though I guess it's never a waste to run Clipper. I am in love with Clipper since since Jason not talked me into it. He suggested Clipper, and I'm actually, I can't say enough about it myself. So at first I thought it was way above my knowledge level, and parts of it were. If it wasn't for a few of you guys out there in the community that have helped me through with it, I would have never been where I am now. But once it's up and running and the interface, and you get to learn, you know, the config files and all that, it is a phenomenal way to run your printer. It is a great way to run your printer. I wouldn't do a rat rig or a Voron or anything without it, I don't think. Suggested is one way of putting it. Yes. Yes, it is. It's always a great idea to run Clipper. Yeah. Is the model? No, it's not layer shifting. That's the model. Yeah. The model I'm printing is, let me see if I can find this again. I just found it on Thingiverse, just something really quick. Actually, more so if I open it up in the slicer. Let me bring my slicer over here. Boom, boom, boom. I'm running Super Slicer, and you'll see in Super Slicer, this is just, again, I gotta play with Super Slicer a bit more, but you'll see it's in the middle of the bed in Super Slicer, and it's an Ender 2 bed I'm using, but, oh no, this is the one I did on the Ender 2. But yeah, you can see that stepping is in the actual model, just the way the model has been designed like that. So that's what's printing on these two little printers now. So it's going to hold 3 USBs, four SD cards, 2 micro SDs, and I'm not sure what those little end ones are for. But I just wanted to pick a model, something that I would actually stick on my desk and use, but something that I could print in the length for my stream so it would finish. And I didn't say, well, the model's printing good, it'll finish it, and I'll post a picture later. No, I wanted them to finish right now. So yeah, so that's what's printing right now. Hence, yeah, it looks like I can see where you see it looks like it's layer shifting, but that's not what's happening. You don't get what you get with Clipper that Duet doesn't offer. I don't either. I like Duet. I really did like Duet, but I wanted to learn something different. So, yeah, I kind of like the config file system, the way Clipper does it better than Duet, to a point. I mean, Duet was simple. Compared to RepRap and Marlin, Duet is great. It was just a little bit, USB drives. Oh, little ones. Okay. Does the KP3S work better with Prusa Slicer versus Cura? I am not a fan of Cura. I'm going to be many of you may slam me for this, but I do not like Cura. I've tried Cura. I don't like their user interface. I get lost in it. Yeah, it's not difficult, but I just don't like I just don't like it. I'm going to have to get to like it a little bit when I set up my CR30, because apparently it is a modified version of Cura that I'll be using to slice for the CR30, because I cannot slice for the CR30 just on any slicer. So I'll have to get used to it a little bit. But no, to be honest with you, I used Simplify 3D for the longest time. I still have it. I will still use it for some things, even though it hasn't been updated in 50 years. I will still use Simplify 3D because I love the user interface on it. But I'm getting to learn. Then I started to get to learn Prusa when they changed from Slick 3R to Prusa Slicer. I started to learn it. I loved it. And then now Super Slicer I like. It's sort of like Prusa on steroids. So, yeah. Clipper runs on anything if you have a Pi. Yep, I have 2 extra Pis here. I just got to decide what to put them on. A little black paint on that front right corner where it was bent so it would run better. And it would run better. Okay, Jerry. Oh, right here. Little black paint. You know, I could just put a Sharpie on that, yeah. Yeah, it is an eyesore, but I had to actually hammer that or bend that back into shape. And I wish I would have taken a picture of the box when it arrived in the mail. It was like, I saw the box and I thought, oh my goodness, I hope there's nothing good in here. And then I opened it up and it was like the hot end, like this whole bottom part here was sort of twisted as almost like a trapezoid, is it called, versus a square. So yeah, yeah. Duet does not offer true input shaping. Even when 3.4 comes out, it will only combine axis and not allow separate axis shaping. Okay. Cura sucks. You can use Idea Maker with belt printers. Oh, you can? Okay. Well, once I get to that CR30, I'll look at all my options and see what we got. Yeah, I liked Duet when I first started it. I thought, wow, this is a whole lot better than Marlin and all that. And the fact that I could configure everything right there. So I just thought, okay, let's get on this Clipper bandwagon and see what it's all about, and let's learn something new. And I'm glad I did. And thank you for Jason for walking me through it all the way, and then also to Shane and oh man, I just lost his name. Anyways, Cura Black Belt is horrible. I use Idea Maker. Okay, good to know. Good to know. I'll look into that prior to doing that stream. How did you get the Pi temp and SKR temp on the temp screen? Oh, you mean, so Stephen, you're talking on this screen here. You're asking right here. It's Raspberry Pi. They were just on there for me as default for me, so they were already on there. I'm sure there's a way you can show them or hide them, but I'll have to look into that and maybe let you know. But yeah, that was already on there for me. The only thing I didn't actually configure anything on this screen. Yeah, I took off the camera because you can actually show and hide different components on your screen. Yeah. Oh, there's Jason just said it's already built into Clipper. Which Pi is the best? I think it depends on what you want to do, Jerry. The Pi 4 would have worked great for me, other than the fact that I thought it was broken, but it wasn't. It happened to be a setting that I wasn't doing. So, which got me to get the Pi 2.0, the Pi 0 2Ws, which is the second version of the Pi 0 with Wi-Fi built into them. I like the Pi 0 myself right now because it's tiny. I don't need to hook anything else up to it. It's tiny. I just had to buy a couple little adapter cables in order to get the USB from the Pi to the SKR. But I like the Pi 0 because of the footprint. It's a small footprint and it's running fine. It's for a tiny little Pi board. It's doing an excellent job. Yeah, I'm going to check out Idea Maker for sure. Actually, I'm going to make a note right now. Right now, I'm going to make a note about Idea Maker for belt printing, so I don't forget to check it out. Belt printing. Now, is it a specific version, or will it just be built into Idea Maker for the belt printing? But I'm sure I'll find that out when I look into it. So, yeah. I believe my Pi 4 is an 8 gig that I have sitting here wherever I put it. I believe I bought the 8 gig version of it. The Pi 0, I'm not sure what it's got as far as, I think it's 4 gig on the Pi 0. So Idea Maker has become your go-to slicer. I'm going to have to check it out. I think I've looked at it once or twice, but I haven't really given it the time it deserves to give it a fair try. You have mainsail Clipper and yours doesn't show up, and I'm running mainsail as well. Huh. That's funny. I'll have to look and see if there's a way it can be hidden. It's built into the latest version of Idea Maker. Okay, good. Good to know. I will definitely look into that because I'm not a fan of Cura. I'm just admitting it. I'm not a fan of Cura. There we go. Using any other Pi, and the only reason I was using a Pi 4 is because that's what I had. And there's a profile for the CR30. Hey, my goodness, good to know. Because that's going to be a fun stream. That's probably going to be a few streams, but it's going to be a fun stream when I get the CR30 built. I know Richard Cleveland from the First Layer wants to come and do that with me, so that's something that'll happen in the new year too, I'm sure. There we go. Get the new Pi Zero. Yeah, the new Pi Zero. I don't know if they're easily to get right now. I know they were sold out a lot of places for them, so that's why I bought two when I, well, plus I paid less shipping to buy two versus buy one now and one later. So the slicing workflow takes a bit of getting used to on Idea Maker. Yeah, okay. That's, hey, if I can learn Clipper, I can learn a slicer. Get the Pi Zero 2W $15. Yeah, pretty cheap. You guys get it. Well, everything's relative, right? I think I paid 25 Canadian, but that included shipping. And our dollar is about a 75 cents on your dollar right now. So you're, yeah, that I was impressed too, Jerry, with the price of the Pi Zero versus the Pi 4. It's like you can buy four of them. I could buy 4 or 5 Pi Zeros for the cost of a Pi 4. So, yeah. Unless I absolutely need it for something specific, I don't think I'd ever buy anything other than a Pi Zero again. I don't like the light on that. Here we go. We're starting to take some shape here. And the Ender 2 Pro is at about the same spot as this one is right now. Let's see how our other holder's going on the other. Let's see how this other printer's doing. It's doing a little bit of fill in here. I got that going slow on the infill for some reason, so the top layers, that could go faster. I should speed that up. But hey, this isn't a rat rig stream. This is a Kingroon stream. Buy the Pi Zero from the official site with their official retailers. Yeah, I bought it from. I bought mine from an official retailer. I don't remember which one. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's cranking on it's on its way now. That was just an infill there. If I do that now, it's moving much quicker now. I have that running. I have my slicer for this going at 100 millimeters a second base. I could go faster, but hey, I'm not in a hurry. That's too bright. I'm going to move a little right here just to bug Jerry a bit more with that scratch. But I will paint that or something. I have some acrylic paints I can paint that with. $48 for a Pi Zero? No. Everywhere is out of stock. Let me look. I'm just trying to think, where did I buy mine? I bought mine off a U.S. retailer. And I know when I bought mine, I had bought it. There was 2 left in stock. I ordered them. And then I think Jason bought a couple or somebody bought a couple the next day. And there was still 2 left in stock. I think they were just limiting it to 2 per person, which is why they did that. Let me see if I can remember where I bought mine. Pieshop.ca. Maybe that's where I bought it. No, maybe not. Okay, so I can get it. So it is out of stock, but to show you guys what we do in Canada, yes, you could. Right there. So it is $18.95 Canadian. And this particular company called Pieshop.ca, they are limiting somewhere here to 1 unit. So they're limiting you to 1 unit, but they are out of stock at the moment. So that's one option, but that's not a bad price considering it's about 80 bucks Canadian for a Pi 4. So, yeah. Close that. Doop. DigiKey or Mouser? Yes. Oh, it might have been DigiKey, Jason. Thank you. There, I think I'm back on now. Let's see. There we are. It just came on now. There we are. If you refresh, I should be here. There, I'm back, they're saying. Whew! You got me? They were asking me when I'm going to pay you that $6 something back. They're asking me if I've paid you back yet.
Tell them that they need to donate to my trip to Jamaica.
Oh, okay. Maria says that you need to donate to her trip to Jamaica. Don't know what that has to do with that $6 and something, but yay. Oh, so she wants everybody to send some money to donate to her trip to Jamaica for Christmas so that she can get out of my hair. I don't have much hair to get out of, but okay. I think what happened, I don't know how I did that, because when I dragged that other window over to show you guys the Raspberry Pi thing, all I did was close that window, but it obviously closed my whole session. So, wow. Okay. You'll donate to the trip if you carry you in your luggage. Don't, Jason, don't say that out loud to Maria. She might take you up on that. No, she really wants to get to Jamaica to see her dad. She hasn't seen her dad in a long time. Well, since pre-pandemic is the last time we went down there. So she wants to get down there on her own. I won't be going, I don't think, but she wants to get down to see her daddy, which I really, really don't blame her. It's been a while since she's been home, so. You don't think it would cover her bar tab? Probably not. She's going to read that comment, Jason. You might have to limber up to fit in a suitcase. She has a pretty big suitcase, actually, too. Your brain goes to Jamaica whenever somebody talks about CNC routers and lasers. Really? Why? Huh. Oh, hang on one sec. I had to sniffle. I had to mute my mic. Hope I muted my mic. These prints look like they're coming along pretty good. And they're both about the same. Oh, I think the... oh, no, they're both about the same height. Yeah. I think we got about another half hour to go on these guys. Finally, a stream. I'm going to jinx it. A stream where nothing goes wrong. Oh, I just jinxed it. So what else do I have on the go? I picked up, this is just sort of a little bit of what I'm going to be doing. I've got a few, these are 20, 40 or 40. These are 20 by 20 by 40 blowers. I'm going to be doing in the new year. These are 3 blower fans. I'm going to be doing a little modification, a series about modifications to the Ender 3 V2. These are part of my series of the modifications of 3 new blower fans. We are going to, I don't think it would cover it. You'll be traveling in style, guest luggage. Oh, there you go, Jason. See? There you go. We're going to work on this in the new year. There we go. The 3D Creality 3D pad. Our good buddy John, Tripod's Garage, had fun with this. If you watch his stream about this, I'm hoping I have a little more success with it. We will see. I was going to give one of these away on my live stream next week on the giveaway, but I'm not going to give away something that I'm not sure it's going to work. That would be like giving you a brick. And it's expensive to mail a brick, so I'm not going to send you a brick. If I know this brick does something other than shatter a window, then maybe. But other than that, we've got upgrades to the Prusa MK3S to the MK3S Plus. We've got upgrade to the Mini Plus. The MK3 upgrade to the Plus requires printing some parts, so I've got to do that prior to doing a stream on that. The Mini is just a PIDNA probe upgrade. That's simple. That's not even a stream. That's maybe an add-on to something. Yeah, so we have a few things to do. A brick would work. A brick would work better than that, right? So, different ways to hurt yourself. Jason, Maria Webster, woohoo! Start working on your stretches. Too funny. Better pack an air tank. Cargo isn't usually pressurized. I have 8 tanks sitting in my garage. I just have to fill one. Let's see. In the flight to Jamaica, will you get enough if I give you a regulator? I don't know if you get that much, although you're going to be above sea level. So yeah, you might actually get a whole flight's worth out of the air tank. DB3D, thank you for the info. You'll have to add one to the one-day farm. Add one what? Oh, a Kingroon? Is that what you're talking about, Dan? And welcome. Did you just pop on? You're certified, but you don't have any tanks. Well, I have lots of tanks. But you want to get a pressurized tank on an airplane? Huh, I don't know. You want to win a Pi Zero. Whew, Jerry. I do have a spare Pi Zero. Yeah, you can probably find these on sale too, Dan, if you have a look. This should be in around 150 US dollars. Well, let's see, what are they selling for on Kingroon right now? I'm not going to make my screen go blank again. So this printer on Kingroon right now, Mr. Dan, is selling for 179 US, which isn't bad. I got mine for 169 Canadian way back when, but I had the old extruder. So the new ones have the Titan extruder, so. You fly free. Oh, well, there you go. Can you put Maria in your luggage? Don't tell her that. She's going to bug you now. Maria, Dan flies, or Jason flies free. If you win a Pi Zero, you'll sell it to Jerry for only $25. I haven't said there's a Pi Zero to give away, so I have a spare Pi Zero, but it's not officially on my list yet. So. Hello, OC. Nice to see you down here, sir. When did you get on? I'm just seeing some of these other regulars popping on now, and I don't recall seeing any of you guys on earlier. Oh, nice. Your daughter works for Delta. I always thought it'd be great to work for an airline, work for WestJet or something. You get guest passes, you get all kinds of perks when you work at an airline. Keep the pie, it's like gold now. What I need to do with the pie, Jason, is I need to maybe auction it off on eBay. So I don't even know where it is. I could tease people. Let's see. Where is that pie? Doo-doo-doo. Oh, now, knowing me and how organized I am, I don't even know where it is. Oh, boy. Anyways, it's around. It's around somewhere. Let me pull these track pants up before they fall down. You guys don't want to see that. That wouldn't be very pretty. Where did I put my pie? I've misplaced my pie. It's around somewhere. I need to build another printer. I know, Jason. As soon as I raise enough funds, hint, hint, if you ever want to hear my super chat button again, no. I'm going to do the Voron Zero. I'm doing the Voron Zero. Maybe I could sell my Pi Zero, make enough to buy a Voron Zero. Hey, a zero for a zero. I like it. There you go, Maria. One of you free flyers, please send her a ticket to Jamaica. Yeah, if once I raise enough to do a Voron Zero, I definitely will. I've got a local guy here that'll give me a discount. He's given away some, there's some prizes from him up here for the hinting right there. Some really, really good filament he's donated. So try checking the kitchen for a pie. Oh, for my pie. I get it. That took me just a split second. I get it. It's in a drawer here or something. No, it's not. Yeah, it's around. That's one of the things I got to organize over the holidays before my next 2022 stream start is I really, really need to organize more where I put stuff. No, there's no Pi Zero in here. I have a lot of pins. Anybody get a duet board and you need extra pins for? Look at that. Tons of them. But now I've put the pie away in a safe place. A safe place where I'd remember where I put it. I was going to tease you with it, but see, even if I wanted, oh, that was just my laser falling. Don't worry, nothing to see here. Even if I wanted to tease you with my Pi 4, I can't because I can't find it, or my Pi Zero. It's in the same place my Pi 4 board is actually. Now I've got myself wondering where it is. I don't know why that's there. I have a spare. I have a spare one of these things. Oh, I forget what that's called again now. That's what's running the heater on my rat rig. What are these things called? You purchased a Voron Zero on Cyber Monday, but 4.2 is out of action. Oh, wow. I'll have to print Voron parts, my Voron parts on my rat rig unless the kit comes with them. SSR, thank you. Spare SSR. I should put that where I put my pies. I have spare parts everywhere. Oh, well. I was going to tease with my Pi Zero, but I can't find it to tease with, so there we go. It's around. But again, I need to organize a few things so I know where things are. Now you have too many. Can you ever have too many pies? Yes, old curmudgeon, I put it in a safe place so you can't find it. We all do that, right? You ever do that? You put something, put it here so I won't lose it. Then you don't find it. That is the case. I want to also, let me get this out of here. I want to do a stream one day. I need to figure out how to kind of put this together. But I have one of these little guys here, and I want to get that on a printer one day and work with that. That's that new E3D hot end. So got to work with that one day and try that out. So yet another thing to do in 2022. I just made that up. Another thing to do in 2022. And this is my 2022 to-do pile. You can't see it. It's over here. It's my to-stream pile. And right here in this box is a laser that I was sent to review, and that'll be a review in 2022. So much to do, so little time to do it. So Sansa, that hot end's not out yet. I was on the beta list for the first 2 betas. I think that was the final beta. Uh-oh. Jerry, here we go, guys. Ready? I've got to go here, and I have to do this. Are y'all ready for this?
Super Chat.
Thank you so much for the $5, Jerry. It is much appreciated. You have space for that box, do you, Dan? Well, unfortunately, I would send it to you in a heartbeat, but you know how much that would cost to send you? It probably cost you more than what's in it, what in it is worth. Will I be able to tell you the difference? Will I be able to tell the difference between the rat rig and the Voron? You know what? I don't know. The rat rig, the Voron Zero and the rat rig, I don't know. That's going to be really, really, really hard to tell the difference between, Pierre. You're so right. Although the Voron might live under the rat rig. It might live under the rat rig. 4 of them. Yes, shipping is insane. Revo and rat rig. Possibly if there's a, but although I've got another little guy here, he's already ready. This little guy is already ready. I just got to plug this into the rat rig. I got to throw a nozzle in there and swap this out on my rat rig, and it's ready to go. And I got to see how that's going to work. I think that's going to be a beautiful, extremely awesome hot end for the rat rig. So enclose the rat rig and replace its printed parts with ABS. Yeah. $30 US part costs $130 shipping to Australia. Oh my goodness, you got to be kidding. Do they have 3D stores and suppliers in Australia though? I guess maybe not for the same reason. Like, yeah. Yeah, Sansa, that was sad news. That's I heard, I don't know if I'm right. I heard it was a car crash. I don't know. So that is a mosquito. David, very, very good friend. And I don't want to, a very good friend sent this to me. So I don't want to say, because I don't know if he wants that to be known, but a good friend sent this to me, and I'm going to put that on probably this week. I want to do my I got to do a massive print, and I want to make the mosquito hot end, the hot end that does that print. So make sure to change the maximum volumetric for the 25 and super slicer when you install the mosquito. Okay, good to know, Jason. I will do that. A scooter accident. Okay. Yeah, that's sad. That's very sad. Completely disable volumetric is better. There's two opposite opinions. Change the max to 25 and then completely disable it. I'll do tests. We'll test it. How are we looking here? Let's see. We're getting there. We're working on the tops here. So, wow, it's only 7:30. I don't know why it seems like it's a little later than that. And let's see. Let's have a look over at the Ender 2 Pro running that beautiful Jessie PLA. It's about the same progress as the Kingroon, so they're probably around the same speed, the printers. It's interesting though, on this one, the print is a little, it's in the center. Oh no, it's a little front and to the left. And on the Kingroon, it's a little back and to the right. So, and it was done on the same slicer. So, anyways. Yours is set to 0 even though your hot end can muster about 14.4. David Wilson, the show next week is 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. I will be putting up a, you'll see it up on YouTube probably Monday, Tuesday, for the, where you can hit your reminder for it. For the Mosquito, the heater cartridge I'm going to use is the one that is on the rat rig right now, which is a it's a Slice Engineering 50 watt. I believe it's a Slice Engineering 50 watt heater. So I'll just be using the same heater cartridge and the same thermistor. They're both Slice Engineering parts. $5 p.m. in the flyover USA. In the flyover. That'd be 5 p.m. Central. Yeah. So with Clipper, you don't need Octoprint anymore. No. No. You shouldn't. Now, the only other thing about these printers, you can probably hear it, is the fans are fairly loud, but they are power supply fans and cooling fans, part cooling fans. So this part cooling fan here is rather loud. And power supply fans, but I don't mind loud fans. They tell me my printers are running. Bach Therapy Cranes. Hello, Shane. Fluid for the win. Mainsail is great too, though. I'm running mainsail. Apparently fluid's going away. I don't know. I don't know enough about that. That's Jason's forte. But I think I had fluid on here initially. And then I ended up, when I went to the RAT OS, I ended up going with mainsail. Yes, fluid is not being developed currently. That's right. And mainsail is, yeah. And I went with RAT OS, but yeah, so I think you're probably best off to go with mainsail, would be the consensus. Wow, I'm actually going to have some prints done before the end of the stream at 8 o'clock, my time. And we'll have some prints to compare from the two printers. That is great. It looks like the Kingroon's going a little quicker than the Ender 2, even though it started a little later because I had a little mishap of filament. Oh, there's a cube I had done on this thing. I had a little issue on the bottom there because I actually bumped the hot end by mistake. But there's a cube I printed last week once I got the steps all organized. So the cube looked great. Other than, yeah, a little high on the bottom, and then that little line on the bottom on the X was my fault. But and then the N layer looks really good. So, and then so does the Z layer. The Z. So, and this measures out actually. I mic'd this cube out, and it measured out about 19.95. It was about a 0.5 millimeter variation between all four corners as far as being a 20 millimeter cube. So to me, that is basically perfectly calibrated as far as the size goes. So yeah. And again, for those of you who hadn't seen it, we also printed this little articulated dragon on the Kingroon. So this little guy was done on this printer at 50% scale. 50% scale for him. And boy, did it ever work well. So I was very, very impressed that this little printer could actually print a model with that much complication in it. Okay. You know, put the Pi Zero on the Viper, then move the other printers after you learn it. Yeah, I may look that way too, but I got to decide which printers I'm going to keep. I have some printers that I need to get rid of. Yeah, I wonder if I could run Clipper on the. Can I run Clipper on the FlashForge Creator 3 on an IDEX? Can Clipper handle IDEX? I don't know if Clipper can do IDEX. Who knows? Yeah, I won't update. Shane and Jason and a few people know my experience with updating Clipper. I've ignored the updates right now because I figure if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because I would update Clipper and it would break the firmware. You're right, and I'd end up having to go back. I struggled with that, so I'm leaving the Clipper updates alone. Clipper can do IDEX, just not as many features as Marlin yet. And then Kieran says, not full IDEX yet. Okay. Only with macros. Okay. I won't bother then. I'll just leave my... I mean, I plan to bring my FlashForge Creator 3 to my office. It's a big printer. It's a great printer, but it's a big, heavy printer. I'm not using it enough here. I'm not getting enough use out of it here. It would be a whole lot better at my office. It would get a lot more work done here, and it would save me some room here. So, and I have the rat rig here for doing bigger prints, and the Creator 3 it's not a massive printer, but I love the IDEX on it, and it does a great job. So, Eddie the engineer has an IDEX Voron running with Clipper. Oh, okay. I don't want to struggle with it. I don't want anything that's going to be too much, I guess, what do you want to call it? Like, if you have to run it with macros and you have to fiddle and fart with it, no. I'd rather just keep running my Flash Forges. I run Flash Forges slicer with it, and it works just fine. Flash Forges come a long way with their flash print slicing software. I've never used Octoprint other than when I tried to use Octoprint on my, what's that printer I have sitting there apart that I just wasn't really impressed with? Kingroon. I'm like, not the Kingroon. No, not the Kingroon's what I'm running now. The yellow boxy printer. I forget what it's called. Jerry has one, and Tripod's Garage has one. Mine has never really worked really well for me. So, anyways, I tried Octoprint on it, and it worked okay. So, is there an IDEX option for the rat rig? I don't know. I think rat rig makes an IDEX printer. I don't think it's the VCore 3. So. Kaiwu, thank you, Jerry. The Kaiwu, that's right. The Kaiwu printer I've got, I've just not had a lot of luck with my Kaiwu. It's just kind of sitting, collecting dust right now. I may revamp it next year. I'll probably end up selling it or giving it away to a school or something, but I won't give it away to a school if it's not working well. So, Tripod got rid of his Kaiwu. Yeah. I mean, it was an okay concept. It was really cheap getting it through the Kickstarter program. I wouldn't buy one otherwise, but it's just I got too many printers to worry about right now, and other ones that are working a whole lot easier with not so much hassle. So the concept was pretty good, but just never worked well for me. And that's the only time I've ever used Octoprint. And I ran a camera on it and all that, and it was okay. I want to get a camera on my rat rig. I've got the camera. I just need to know how to configure the Pi software to say, okay, when I plug this camera in, hey, there's a camera here, and have it show up on my mainsail screen. Again, that's something for me to work on in the new year, because I don't think I can just plug and play that camera. There's a little whatever you call it on the board on the Pi Zero to plug the camera in, but I don't know if it's just plug it in and hey, there it is. It's going to show up on screen. I have a feeling I may have to go into the Pi software to say, here's the camera, yada, yada, yada. So that I do not know. You guys out there are much more knowledgeable than me on stuff like that. Your Kaiwu Max was broken print was a broke printer they sent you. Layer issues at one certain height, need to try and fix someday. Yeah. Mine, I as soon as I switched, it ran fine. I switched to their all metal hot end they sent me, and it's gone downhill since then. I switched back to the old hot end, still not working. Maybe I'll put the I don't know. Maybe I'll put a different hot end on it. Maybe I'll put I don't know. We'll see. I'll see what the community's put out there for hot end mounts and stuff, and see what's going on. You don't need to do anything on the Pi. It's just done through fluid or mainsail. Okay, so if I just plug the camera in, power it on, and then go into mainsail and say, here, add my camera, it should show up. I'll do that, because I have this camera sitting here. It's probably with my Pi Zero board I can't find right now. But I'll do that, because I'd like to, it would be neat to have a camera on the rat rig, especially since I'm going to be doing long, like we're probably speaking multi-day prints coming up here for a job I got to get done. So. Clipper for Ender 5 Plus. I do not know where you would go to start that. Go to Clipper's website, I'm sure. Clipper.org, is it? And I'm sure that they would have something there. Clipper3D.org. But they got a really good documentation on the Clipper3D.org website, as far as right up from beginning to installing it, configuring it. But I'm sure even on GitHub, I'm sure somebody has done and probably has everything all set up on GitHub for the Ender 5 Plus as well. Just need a cable to the Pi. I've got a cable. I've got a camera with a cable that's about 2 meters long. Oh, thank you so much, Rising Phoenix Chronicle. Appreciate that. Make sure you come out next Sunday, 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Over $2,500 US in prizes to give away. Order a bunch of Pi Zeros from AliExpress since they're cheap. Good luck. AliExpress, would they be genuine pies? Or would they be cherry pies? Oh, no problem, Chris. Again, I think you'd probably have to configure it, but I think on GitHub, Clipper3D.org is where I learned a lot about how to configure things. And then on GitHub, I'm sure that there's somebody has done an Ender 5 Plus, so there's bound to be something on GitHub for that. There we go. Jason's answered you right there too, Chris. Clipper Mainsail has configs for Ender 5 Plus. Look at that. Who knew? Well, obviously you guys knew. Cow pie. Hey, Andrew Osmond. Hello. Okay. We're getting close on these prints. Boy, the good-looking prints, too. Yeah, that looks like layer shifting, and I think that's... Obviously, they designed it to look like that. They could have maybe smoothed those step-ups a little bit, but that's just the file, the way it was designed, and I'm not knocking anybody else's design. These are just some test prints for me. But the The Kingroon is definitely about probably 10, 15 minutes ahead of the Ender 2 Plus here, Ender 2 Pro. So there, another thing, yeah, I can mention in the difference between these these two also, is the Ender 2 Pro has, which isn't a big deal because you don't adjust them that often, but it has belt tensioning knobs on it. Whereas the Kingroon doesn't, but you're able to tension your belts on these, and you don't. The tensioning knobs are great, but you're not going to tension your belts all that often. So, you know, you may tension them once, and then 6 months, 7, 8 months down the road, depending on how often you're using it. So, what's the print? It's just a simple print I found. I wanted something that I could print within the length of the stream, and that I could actually use and not just throw in a bin. It's just a little holder for USB sticks and micro SD and SD cards. Because really, right now, I have none of those. Right now, my SD cards, I will show you. Let's here, I don't want to make you dizzy, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to swing this around, and I'll show you right now how I store all my SD cards and stuff. Right there is how I store my USB sticks, and my SD cards are just sitting here. So, and this whole thing that's an iPhone charger. That's a cordless charger. I don't use it. I just use it as a tray. And that's how all my little USB sticks and stuff are stored. So, yeah. So I'm actually printing a practical print that I will use. But I wanted to make sure that it was a print that I could actually finish on stream. So it was like an 1.5-hour print or something like that. So, and the same one is printing over there in Jesse Blue PLA on the Ender 2 Pro. Whoops. So there we go. And it looks like it's almost done. Your SD are in a drawer from Dollar Tree on your desk. Yeah. Hey, HC. Hello. Oh, I like that little icon, an ant. That is cute. Prusa has nice SD card holders to print out. Yes, I got to go look on prusa.org. Again, I haven't been on that site in a long time, and they have some great models there. So, so those of you who are just on, you weren't on earlier when I was talking about the 1,000 subscriber giveaway next week. If you go to my YouTube channel, there's a video there, big letters, 1,000 subs. If you go to the description of that video, there's an entry form on there. You can fill out that entry form anytime now. It's going to be the same entry form I use next week. And as a matter of fact, there are, as of now, 62 people entered in that draw. So, yeah, get over there, fill out that entry form. And the reason I put it out early is to streamline the process because there's so much stuff to give away that it's going to be a long stream. So I'm going to be just draw. There's going to be some talking. We're going to talk about the vendors a little bit because they were generous enough to donate some fabulous prizes. You guys are going to be pretty amazed. And even you guys, some of you guys have done some great generous donations, and a few of you guys have been an incredible help for me getting a hold of sponsors. So, but we're going to talk about all that next week. But go ahead and fill out that form in advance, and you can still fill it out during the stream. But we're going to be getting going pretty quick, and you don't want to miss getting your name on the stream for these prizes. So, because there's some pretty good stuff. And yes, you do need to be present to win. Try out my new super chat thingy. Make a small donation. Yeah, my new super chat thing is, I got to admit, it's cool. Yeah. I spent about, I guess all in all, about an hour looking up software and different ways to make it. But now that I know what I've done, I can probably make a nice super chat thing in a few minutes. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Yes, Mr. Autogen, the Kingroon is working fine. The issue was, and Liam, Astro Printer, was a great help in this. And I mean, it's not that I didn't know how to do E-steps, but I was like, it shouldn't be the E-steps, but the E-steps were way off compared to the hot end that was on here before. So we ended up getting the E-steps all tuned, and the E-step number is outrageous. And I thought this is way too high, but it was like 700 and something. But it works. It's working fine, and it's printing great. And as a matter of fact, the first test print I did after we did that. Oh, hang on, just for giggles, old curmudgeon. Here we go, guys.
Super Chat.
Thank you so much, OC. Oh, another one. Look at this. Oh, you guys want to hear this more and more?
Super Chat.
Thank you so much, David Wilson. Much appreciated. I appreciate the donations. Oh, and look at that. We're all finished. But I was going to show you real quick, for those of you who just came on, the first test print I did on this was this articulated dragon that everybody's printing. I think I lost my autofocus on this. So I did one at 50% scale on the Kingroon, and it came out beautifully. Everything articulates and moves except for the tip of the tail, because I think that's the parts inside are just so small they probably fuse together. But I mean, considering the size of this thing, you can see his head's no bigger than my thumbnail. That printed right on this little printer, just sort of in that position. It printed beautifully, so it was great. Oh, we got another one.
Super Chat.
Thank you so much, Andrew Osmond. I appreciate the $5. It does work, yes, for sure. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate that. And the donations are all going to go back to the channel. I plan to, when I raise enough, I'm going to do a Voron Zero build. And I depending on how things go, I may do a Voron Zero build and give it away. We'll see what happens. But that's great. Everything is going back into the channel that is donated, and I really appreciate it very much. So, and it allows me to do this. It allows me to keep doing this. And it makes me a legitimate channel so that I can do these giveaways like it's happening next week. So, and you guys can win some great prizes. It's incredible. And Mark Flanagan, hello, how are you? Thank you for popping in. I know it's late for you, but great. I haven't seen you on a stream in a while, so that's good. I think you were on last week a little bit. So let's have a look at this print that came off the Kingroon now. We've got our little snot that's left over from the end of the print. But let's pull this off. And I dislike these beds, but they work, okay? Because if you look at the back of them, the heat and the models, so the back of the beds tend to get a little, and after a while, that'll sort of translate to the front of the bed. But maybe eventually I'll put a little PEI flex build plate on this thing. Oh, we got another one. Here we go. You guys like this super chat sound, don't you?
Super Chat.
Mr. Ajahn, thank you so much for the $5 for the beverage fund. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get this print off. Let's get the camera up and rolling here. Okay, oh, that actually looks pretty good. So there we go. And these beds, these just flex and prints just fall off. And then this skirt should just come off nice and easy as well. So here we go. Let's check out the bottom layer. Am I able to focus this? I think I lost my autofocus somehow. So nice bottom layer on this, beautiful. See, again, that little line that you're seeing right here that goes around there, that's just a little deformity in that bed, which is one reason I don't really like those beds, because they do get, but I mean, no lifting on the corners at all on this. It laid super flat. The layers printed great. That little ridging you see, that's in the design. That's not any layer shifting or anything like that. And if we go down, yeah, see, that looks really, really good. So it's a good little printer. It does a great job. I don't see any banding, ghosting, nothing in here. You see a little bit of right over here. You can see a little bit of the seam. That looks good. Let's see if my cards will actually fit. Oh, hold on. I see something here. Oh boy, look at this.
Super Chat.
Jason M, thank you so much for the V0 fund and for not being an illegitimate channel. Oh, well, thank you so much, Jason. I appreciate that. You are far too kind, especially you, Jason. Let's see. Let's get over here. Check out. Here's a USB stick. It's a little tight fit, but hey, that's good. It fits. And let's check out micro SD slot right there. That fits good. I don't know what this little one is for, unless, Kieran, you mentioned USB, but I don't know, USB-C maybe? That's tiny. SD card. Look at that. Fits. I have a few SD cards here. I only have a couple printers now that use these SD cards. That fits, it fits. There we go. And oh, this only holds 2 micro SDs. Well, it's a good thing I printed 2. Okay, and then probably use these little SD, these 32 gigabyte drives. I can put one of them like that. And then I have another one. Got this from a customer one time, a Sandtech, like that. Look at that. That works good. And one more. I can hold one more of these in here. That's just a adapter. There we go. So that works. That's pretty cool. Good way to organize it. So I'll put some VHB tape on the bottom and I'll stick this down to my desk somewhere over here. Then I can actually free up my charger for what it's meant to be done for. So there we go. Okay, so that's the Kingroon. Did a really good job. So yeah, this, again, great little printer. For those of you that joined late as well, a couple adaptions I made to this, little upgrades if you want to call it. Again, on the side here. So let me power this off and I'll show you. So on the side here, let me pull that out. And where is my little, something, doesn't matter. I can just use this because this will just pop right off. There we go, because it's sort of pressure fit in there. So this is what it used to look like on the side. And it's very easy when you go to put this SD card in to get it underneath so you can see that little gap. And I think we've all done this. We can actually drop it in underneath and it'll go in. You have to take the bottom of the case off. So this is just a little piece that I printed. I found it on Thingiverse. And then you just go over here and it kind of snaps into place there. Just friction fit, just like that, and it works fine. Then you can plug the power in here. Okay, and then you can basically, I'm not even looking at the printer, I'm looking at the camera. You can blindly put your SD card in and it guides it right into the hole. So that's one modification I did to it. The other modification I did to it was printed this spool holder. So the spool holder went on top of the 2040 extrusion here. Issue I found with this earlier on in the stream was that this needs to be taller, because when the spool is on there, unless I turn it around and put it on the back, which I could very well do, and maybe that's what it was designed for, was to go on the back. But I like it on the front because it lines the filament up right with the hot end. But I would make this a little taller because when this head comes right up, it does interfere with it. That's probably, they intended this to go around back. But as I say, I like it on the front. So I'll just go into Fusion 360, and I'll probably just make this a little taller because I like the design. It's simple and easy. So, or a USB-C adapter. Oh, good point there, Kieran. I don't know who that was, Gary. Calgary trip canceled for now. Yep, everything's being canceled, Mark. Too bad. Would have been nice to see you. You saw that an adapter on Amazon that allows you to move the location of the micro SD slot without having to do any major modding. I have this. So this is just basically, it's a micro SD extension. So you plug this into the micro SD slot, and then you have this micro SD. So you could theoretically plug it in there, wrap this around or something, and then have this out front. But yeah, that little thing works just fine now on the side that I've printed that little adapter, and it's fine. It's great. So okay, so let me just unplug this. This worked perfectly. So yeah, I would say that Kingroon is a decent little printer for anybody looking for a small format printer now we're just waiting for the, now that I've cleared that off a little bit, we're just waiting for the Ender 2 Pro to finish its little print here. And we're just at our 2-hour mark. We'll just let this finish. We'll go a little over the 2 hours today, just to give this guy a chance to finish. Let me get this power supply out of the way, and let's see, how's our other power supply thing going? Let's check over on the, and now over to the rat rig. It's coming along good. It looks like, according to the slicer, we are 58% done. Or sorry, on main sale here, 58% done, and it looks like it's got another 2 hours to go. It's just building the walls right now, so I could speed it up, but hey, it's running at 100 millimeters a second right now, which is just peachy. So, Mark Flanagan, where are you from? Are you still on, Mark? I can tell you Mark is from Ontario, Toronto area. Mark and I have known each other probably, Mark is probably the friend that I've had for the longest. We have known each other since high school. So we're speaking, without giving, I don't care if I give my age away, but boy, I'm trying to remember the year I met Mark. EP stream version tonight. Yes, exactly, Jason. Thanks. I've known Mark, what have we known, Mark? 40 years? 45 years. I've known Mark for 45 years or more. It's been a long time. I think we met when we were in high school, so I would have been 16 or 15 years old. So over 45 years, or maybe 4, yeah, wow, long time. 1977, that's about right, yeah. We met in 77, you're right. We've been friends ever since. He lives the opposite end of the country as me, but, you know, true friends are friends, regardless of distance and time, and we go months without talking, and so it happens. You have some of those Sony turd sticks. Sony turd sticks. Grade 10. Man, I remember grade 10. Hard to believe I was ever that young. Gosh. Okay, let's flip over to this and watch this guy finish. Gotta say, I love, this isn't a stream about the filament, that Jessie PLA. The camera does not do that filament justice. Those of you who have used Jessie PLA, the blue, let's see if the light makes a difference. No, the light doesn't make any difference. But that Jessie PLA is beautiful filament. It prints so amazing, and the colors are so rich. So, you hate Sony. I haven't bought anything Sony for a long time. 76 is when you first saw Star Wars, or 77. 77, if I'm not mistaken. Was 77 not the year Jaws came out as well? Methinks so. Anyways, guys that are still on here, thank you so much for hanging out. I think this has been a great issue-free stream so far. We got these 2 printers printing, which is what this was supposed to be last week. So again, I needed to give that Kingroon a little better representation, because it is a much better printer than I gave it credit for last week, or that I made it look like last week. So you bought one of Sony's DSLRs, digital SLR cameras, and it was terrible. Supposedly they're great cameras now. Well, I'm running this camera right here. Is a Sony A5100. I love this camera. They have newer ones, A6000 or A6100, but this is an A5100 Sony that I picked up off of Kijiji or something. I got a really good deal on it, but it is a great camera. The quality of this camera compared to, say, here's a webcam. Let's see. Here's just this is just a cheap action cam, but if you look at the color on this camera, which some people would say, hey, that's pretty acceptable. Let me turn this a little bit. This is just a cheap little action cam I got, like a GoPro style. And then if you look at the color on that compared to the color on this is a whole lot richer, smoother, etc. But they're great streaming cameras, really. I started streaming with the Logitech cameras, which are fine, and then decided, well, when I'm going to take this serious, so then I started looking for an A5100. Apart from the air gap issues, yeah. Ah, Kieran, I can always depend on you, my friend. 1975 for Jaws. Okay, that's right. Okay. Because they just celebrated, oh, what are they coming up to 50 years for Jaws? 85, 95, 05, 15. No, it'll be 2025 for 50 years for Jaws. Every time Jaws comes on, I enjoy watching it. I really enjoy watching it. Show me the way to go home. Okay, I won't sing the whole thing. It was on not long ago. You learned about Pi Zero tonight and Clipper. Good. Awesome. Sony screwed us on a home theater recently and back when they did shady stuff with CDs. Yeah, and wasn't Sony the one that came out with Betamax? Yeah, I'm sure it was Sony Betamax. A lot of people fell into that trap. Yeah. 77. I think we did see Star Wars together, Mark. You're correct. You and I used to go to a ton of movies. I remember in my college days and all that, we would go to movies downtown Toronto. We would go to 3-4 movies a day. I remember that well. Those were the good old days. Beta was superior to VHS. It was superior, but it just did not take off. And a lot of people got stuck with beta machines. You have a picture of yourself wearing a Star Wars t-shirt. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, beta was, I had a beta machine. And I had some beta movies, and they were superior. But, yeah, Laserdisc, yeah. I remember Laserdisc. It's amazing the stuff that we, you know. There's still some drive-ins around, Stephen. I don't know. Last I saw there was some drive-ins, but they're a dying breed too. I bet there's a lot more drive-ins still running in the U.S. than there are in Canada. So, yeah, 2 to 3 movies on Friday opening night. Portable Betamax was a backpack. Yeah, people get stuck with beta from Kickstarter. Yes. Escape from New York on Laserdisc. What a good movie. Snake Plissken. That was a great movie. Kurt Russell. I watch that every time it comes on as well. You watch Star Wars. You saw Star Wars at the drive-in. Yeah, drive-in movies. I remember the days of the drive-ins. Northern Ontario, we used to have a place up there. We would sneak people in the trunk of the car and everything to get into the drive-in movies. Yeah, those were the days. Now you listen to them through your radio. You don't hang that speaker anymore in your window. I don't think so. Maybe there's some nostalgic drive-ins that still do that. I think we're on the top layer here. Where my glass is at. Yeah, we're almost done here. We're on the, I believe we're on the top layers on this print now, so we should be done pretty soon. We can have a look at that compared to the other one. But yeah, I am not taking this out of that. I like that. That's a cute little case. Although I may print something a little bigger after too. They may make little stocking stuffers actually for Christmas. Throw one of these little card holders in a family member stocking. New York and the LA sequel. I haven't seen the sequels to the, well, or have I seen the sequels to those? So, but the initial one was good. You can't, I mean, Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken, can't beat him. Those are those movies that, you know, every time they come on TV, I watch them. Just like Christmas time when Die Hard comes on, because we all know Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I watch Die Hard every year too when it comes on. There's certain movies that they pop on the TV. You're just sitting there and you go, yeah, let's watch it. Tonight before the stream, I was watching. I couldn't catch it all because I had to stream. But Tom Cruise. He was. I forget. He was. Oh shoot! What was that movie called again? Where he's working with a lawyer to catch these bad guys. And anyways, doesn't matter. It was one of those movies that was on tonight. I just don't remember. You bought the Die Hard set on Blu-ray. Die Hard's a great series. Big Trouble in Little China is your most favorite. That's a fun movie. Kurt Russell and who was his co-star in that? No, it wasn't The Firm. It was I wish I knew. I forget what it was called. There's a scene where he's on an airplane. Was it Tom Cruise? He was on an airplane with Jack Reacher. It's called Jack Reacher. Sorry. Jack Reacher was the show. I watch that every time it comes on too. Gary 62, you did say it. Sorry, I didn't see that. Yes, Jack Reacher, you got it. Long weekend, Dust to Dawn drive-in, 3 movies and camp out. Yep. The Firm is a good movie too, though. Don't get me wrong. It's a really good film. Okay, we should be done soon here. More recent, yes, yeah. And then there was another one on. I'm trying to remember another one I saw recently that I've never seen. Was it Tom Cruise again? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I like watching old movies over and over sometimes. Not like months apart, but every year you watch it and you go, it's a great movie. Kim Cattrall. Yes, Kim Cattrall, Big Trouble in Little China. That's a fun movie. I like the Jackie Chan movies too. I got to get Maria. We were talking about it on the way home the other night. She hasn't seen the original Pink Panther movies. She's only seen the ones with Steve Martin. But for those of you who are my age and older, you will remember the original Pink Panther movies with the one and only Peter Sellers. You cannot beat those movies. They are great. With Kato, and I always remember the line, and I don't remember which Pink Panther movie it was from, but when he says, "Does your dog bite?" and the guy says, "No," and he says, "I thought you said your dog doesn't bite, and that's not my dog." That's a classic. I gotta watch those movies with her because you can't beat those. Peter Sellers was so good in those. Kim Cattrall and Mannequin was good. What was the movie? Was it Kim Cattrall what was the movie? It's got a very, very famous song from it. Kim Cattrall was in it with another. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I digress. We're talking about 3D printing here. Anyways, this looks like it's almost done. We are on the top layers. And I can tell you that the camera, again, doesn't do this justice. This is going to be a nice looking print. Same kind of build plate as the Kingroon as well. That fun, flexible magnet, high quality stuff. Kim was in Star Trek too. She was. Yes. Porkies. I remember Porkies. There we go. We're finished. We are finished. Yay. And so we can pull this off of here. Let's come over here. There we go. And I can tell you this is a good looking print as well. So pops off nice and easy. Now my bottom layer, I could have been a little closer on the bottom, but again, that's okay. But you can see all this little crap here, and that is one thing I hate about these build plates is that if you ever have an issue, like you can see on this one where the nozzle was maybe too close one day or whatever, it leaves remnants on this surface, and alcohol, nothing gets them off, and they end up translating onto the bottom of your print, which is okay because this is the bottom of the print. But if this were a side, or if I had to orient the print so that you could see this part, it's not very nice, not very pretty looking. So, but otherwise, this came out very nice as well. I mean, you got a better look at the Jessie PLA blue here too. It's beautiful filament. Am I focused here? There we go. But otherwise, this print came out extremely well as well. Extremely well as well. Is that a word? Yeah, and I was a little bit far on the, from the bed on this one because I can actually pull this first little outer part off right here. So I needed a little more squish on the bottom for that one. I didn't check that. I just set that up to go and go. So, but that's not the printer's fault. But yeah, that's a really decent looking print as well. And then we'll check size wise again. So we have a USB stick, 32 gigger here. Fits in there nicely. We have a micro SD card. Come on, micro SD. Fits in there nicely. I have another micro SD. Fits in there fine. I have this really cute. You ever seen a USB this tiny? This is a 32 gig, I believe. Yeah, 32 gig USB thumb drive. It's literally a thumb drive, the size of the thumbnail. That fits in there nicely too. So, yeah. And then if I take one of these full-size SD cards, there we go. So that one turned out really well as well. My bottom layer is a little off, but that's okay. But otherwise, that turned out nice. So we have that one from the Ender 2 Pro, and we have this one from the Kingroon. And I would say quality-wise, they are spot on. So both printers performed really well. The Ender 2 Pro costs a little more than the Kingroon. So it just all depends on what you want. Feature for feature, I would put the Kingroon over the Ender 2 because of the linear rails, because of the direct drive extruder. The advantage on the Ender 2 is you have your built-in power supply as far as a separate power supply, and you have a nice spool holder that comes with it. It's the same style spool holder on the Ender 2 Pro that comes with the CR6 SE. It's that bending, tilty tile. And then you also have a little drawer on the side of the Ender 2 Pro. You have a little drawer for your spare parts, etc., etc. So, yeah, let's turn that off because that fan is really loud. But there we go. That turned out to be a pretty decent stream with a couple final decent prints to boot. So, let's see. I'm way behind. Enemy Mine. Yes, I do remember that. That's a great show. To clean the plate, print a square size of the bed and print hotter than normal. To clean the plate, print a square the size of the bed and then print hotter. Oh, okay. I'm probably, if I keep these, I'll probably end up just getting little flexible build plates. I like the flexible magnetic build plates myself. They're a lot less maintenance, they last longer, and they seem to have better adhesion. The adhesion on these things will deplete eventually. I know that from experience. My very first printer ever a few years ago was a CR20 Pro. Came with this type of build surface. Number one, if you happen to whatever reason bury your nozzle in it, it's done. It's done. You can't fix it. Your nozzle wins and this loses. Number two, after printing for quite a while, this surface does wear out. So, in my experience. So yeah, I'll just end up putting flexible build plates on them if I do keep them. You'd worry about snapping the sticks in that thing. Snapping the sticks. What am I? Oh, we may be. Yeah. Okay, I'm just catching up here, guys. Sorry. It's talk between movies and 3D printing. You printed the ship from Flight of the Navigator for someone. You've always meant to print one for yourself. You're always the last one to get your own prints, usually. Okay, Mika, Steve, take care. Thank you so much. I'm closing this off right now anyways. Perfect. Thanks so much, Jerry. Great stream it was. Yeah, so we're closing it off. It's been good. Just for everybody, thank you, everybody, for the super chats. It's been really appreciated. And just to thank you all for that, I'll do this once more.
Super chat.
Thank you. I do have a new closing stream if you want to watch it too, but for when I say goodbye, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, and we'll see everybody next week for the big stream. Don't forget, next week, 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, lots of prizes, special on-screen guest, possibly a special in-studio guest as well. So thank you, everybody that stuck around this long. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you guys later on the streams throughout the week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Super Chat.
Oops, I hit the wrong button. You got a bonus one. Okay, bye, everybody.